Hey guys, welcome to Nail the Frame. In today's video, we're going to be going through how to easily remove upper and lower cabinets. And make sure you stay to the end so you can see how to disconnect plumbing. The basic tools that I'll be using today is a driver wrench or an impact wrench, a hammer, a crowbar. I brought the Sawzall out just in case anything needs to get cut out, and I always have the vacuum ready to go. This is the kitchen that we're going to be removing today. It is a 1980s kitchen with Formica tops and site-built cabinets, and we're going to be removing the uppers and lowers. The first step I usually do is protect everything with plastic, so there isn't dust all over the house. Here I'm just using some thin mill plastic and some poly tape. The first thing I'm going to do is put a Phillips head bit in my impact wrench and start removing the drawer fronts and doors. Guys, you don't have to be too careful here. All these cabinets are going to get thrown out. I'll go ahead and go through the whole kitchen and take all the doors off. This helps with taking the cabinets down because they're going to be a lot lighter. After getting all the doors off, I'm going to start taking the valance and crown molding off. To do this, I'm going to use a crowbar and a hammer. Try to be careful not to break any of the drywall and dent anything that you don't want dented. As you can see, I'm using both the pry bar and the hammer at the same time to start to wiggle the trim off. Once I have the trim started, I'll move to ripping it off by hand. To take the blocking down on the ceiling, I'm going to have to switch bits to a Phillips head number 3. I'm going to go ahead and take all this blocking off because I don't know if the new trim is going to line up with this blocking. So once I get the new cabinets up, I'll put up new blocking in line with the new cabinets. At this point, we'll actually start taking down the upper cabinets. Here I'm going to be using a number 2 Phillips head bit based on the screws that the original installers used to install the cabinets. I usually start with removing every top screw and then move to the bottom to see if there's any screws on the bottom. Here I just switched the bit back to a number 3 Phillips because the original installer used a number 3 bit. Typically, I unscrew all the upper screws first, and then I do all the bottom screws. This allows you to hold the cabinet while removing from the wall. Again, back to the Phillips head number 2 for some other screws. With all the screws out, I'm going to pull the cabinet off the wall. Next, we're going to start taking the base cabinets out. Again, I'm going to start with taking all the drawers out and all the door fronts off. I'm going to go back to the number 2 Phillips bit to take these doors off. Once I have all the doors off, I'm going to check for screws holding down the countertop. Once I have all the screws out, I'm going to give a little test to make sure that the top is actually free, and then I'm going to remove it. The next step is to take all the screws out of the cabinet that attach it to the wall. Once you take those screws out, it should be pretty easy to pull the cabinet out. These particular cabinets were site-built cabinets, so they come out in pieces. I'm going to go ahead and remove all parts and pieces for the cabinets. Now I'm going to show you how to shut the water off to be able to remove the sink. Step 1 would be to disconnect the water. The first step in shutting the water off is to turn all the water shutoffs to the right. As you can see, this one is jammed up from years of abuse. So I'm going to go ahead and persuade it with a pair of pliers. So once I get it started, I can finish it by hand. In this particular case, you're going to have 3 shutoffs, 2 to the sink and 1 to the dishwasher. After turning all the shutoffs to the right, you have to disconnect all the hoses. Right here, I'm going to remove all the hoses to the sink and dishwasher. Don't be afraid if there's some dripping water. That's just water left over in the lines. After getting all the water lines disconnected, I'm going to go ahead and take the dishwasher drain tube off. As you can see here, before I remove the cabinet, I'm going to make sure that everything's loose and disconnected. For good measure, I'm going to remove the throat piece off the bottom of the sink. The only time I'm going to actually end up using the Sawzall is to cut the base of the cabinet around the plumbing pipes. Thanks for watching the video today. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like the channel, please subscribe and leave any comments if you'd like. Thank you.